Hi, I'm Dakota Tuck, and this is my husband, Byron Tuck.
Hi.
We are your average American citizens. We work for a living. We live in a moderate home.
Modest.
We have, yes, very modest. We have small children in school, and we're concerned about the future of our nation. We realize most people working for a living don't have time to watch the news 24/7. So we wanted to give you just a brief intro to the candidates and tell you a little bit about them. But we're going to start off with Barack Obama, who is not a candidate. We realize this. But two of the candidates are saying that they will absolutely continue on with Barack Obama's policies. So, go.
Okay, tell you what, we're just going to talk about some of the things that are shocking in our current environment that Obama has done. I was doing some research. We spent several hours doing some research before we tried to outline this for you. Look, I'm going to name 9 things that we should really be concerned, and there's so many more. It was hard to choose. But look, recently the IRS has targeted conservatives and Christians. Anytime you weaponize one of these, it's a scary, troubling deal. Number 2, a blatant disregard for standing laws on immigration, and you know, they've dumped over 1,000 convicted illegal immigrants on the streets and made ridiculous excuses about it. 3, endless assaults on the Second Amendment. Shall not infringe is pretty clear, I think, but again...
Who really needs an assault weapon, though?
It's about the freedoms, but we're moving on. Number 4, forced Obamacare down the throats of the people. Again, when did the government obtain the right to force us to buy any service? It's way out of the bounds of government.
Well, that's because it's not really forcing us to buy anything. It's a tax.
But they tried to. Anyways, again, we're moving on. Created more national debt than every other president combined. And if hopefully most of you know that our debt is absolutely exploding. It's insane.
We're over 19 trillion, and that does not include unfunded liabilities that are not on the books, that you don't even see.
And it's set to be our 3rd largest requirement in our debt because it's growing so fast. It is extremely unsustainable. I don't know why we are not in the streets. Anyways, again, moving on. The EPA run amok. They've weaponized the EPA to such a degree, it's mind-boggling through Obama. The DOJ, the race baiter with the race baiter agenda, endlessly race baiting. Bailouts, GM and Chrysler, and not to mention all the...
Solyndra.
Yeah, oh my word.
The money spent on Solyndra that was just absolutely flushing it down the toilet.
Amen.
For a liberal agenda, frankly.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
Number 9, the Iran deal. $150 billion to the world's leading sponsor of terrorism. Now, the definition of treason is giving aid and comfort to the enemy. So, I'm not a genius, but to me, that is by definition treason.
Now, he's just trying to get along.
Yeah, that'll work, because it's worked in history.
Because he's a peaceable kind of guy.
Okay, now, the whole point of these remarks was that we find ourselves, not to mention the
Iran
new judge.
Iran has already violated the deal, and we're still giving them the money.
And from day one. Okay, look, we're just trying to explain that we're in an extremely crucial environment right now, that who we select as president is more important this go-around than in any recent history.
I would say it's a tipping point.
I would too. So this is why we felt like, we're just going to share some of our research and some of our opinions. And those, take what you will, leave what you want.
So now that you know a few things about Obama, which I'm sure a lot of you already knew these things, let's cover Hillary, who has vowed to extend the Obama legacy. Okay, first of all, the first thing you should know about Hillary is she's a verified liar. And we're not talking just recently. We're talking her entire history as a human being. She is a liar. Let's start off with Watergate. Now, I'm sure you all remember Watergate. Nixon, he was impeached and at least had the integrity to resign. She was actually disbarred for being unethical during that. Disbarred. Mm-hmm. But, of course, this was after she had spent her time as an attorney defending a child rapist. And she lied about the child in order to get a lighter sentence for this guy.
Brutalized a 12-year-old.
Absolutely astonishing.
Go look it up.
Google it.
It's amazing.
Yes. Second of all, her reason for her illegal email server. Well, first of all, if you really believed why she did her email server, do you really want somebody that can't handle 2 accounts running the country? I think not. But the fact of the matter is, she lied, she continues to lie, and now she's going to release the papers that she didn't have that were classified information over. So either she had them, knew she had them, and deleted them, or she just plain lied, and I think we all know the answer to that.
Okay.
Okay, Benghazi. First of all, she lied about why Benghazi took place, and then her stance was, what difference does it make? It doesn't matter that 4 Americans were killed. It's all water under the bridge now. This is not the person we want in charge of our country.
Amen.
I could go on and on about Hillary, but again, I think we're just going to agree that she's just simply a bad choice. And as far as saying, well, we need the first woman president, hey, that's why I'm doing this. We don't want to appear like he's being sexist. Hillary is a bad representative for women everywhere. She says, oh, rape victims should always be heard. I guess it's unless it's one of the ones that her husband accosted or one that she's up in trial against who's 12 years old. So let's just move on from her and go on to
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders. Oh, he's such a likable guy.
Yeah.
He wants to give us free stuff. I love free stuff.
Yeah. Too bad the government doesn't make any money. They use other people's money.
Now.
Okay, look, Bernie Sanders. He's for amnesty, which is, of course, legalizing those that have illegally come over the border.
That's because he's nice.
Oh, he is, yeah. Very pro-abortion.
Hey, women's bodies, it should be their choice.
Okay. Anti-Second Amendment, which, again, the founders put the Second Amendment in there. There was 2 reasons that they outlined for our Second Amendment. 1 was against foreign invaders, and 2 was against a corrupt government. Why would you take away that Second Amendment right?
Hey, guns are only for hunting, dude.
Yeah. Anti-military. There is nothing more terrifying than a country that is unwilling or unable to defend itself.
Quit being the world's bully.
Very poor choice.
You don't need to go around
Okay.
making other countries be all nice to their citizens and not putting them in meat grinders. That's just wrong to force them to do that.
Yes, sir. This fair shake agenda that and pretty much when I was reading his material, everything was a fair share. I'm sorry, a fair share is what he says. And this fair share will push even more businesses out of the country because you can try and step on the throats of the rich guy, but guess what? He has all the resources to move and to make things different. Every time we've seen this through history, the people with resources simply take these taxes that are going to fare it up and they pass it on to the consumer every single time. It's not that hard to figure out.
But if you have 12 cookies and I have 1 cookie, I think you should...
It's not fair.
It's not fair. I should have more cookies.
Maybe there should be an environment where you could earn your own cookies, like a free market.
I don't want to earn my own cookies. I want your cookies.
Oh, that's true.
You have more cookies.
All right, so moving on.
Reagan.
Oh, that's right.
No, I love this quote.
President Reagan said, at least this is kind of, I shortened it up, at least drunken sailors spend their own money. Sanders will finish bankrupting this country by spending money that we're already so deep it's insane, and he wants to just open up the coffers and spend more money that we don't have and just completely rape our grandchildren.
That's because Sanders is say the word.
Socialist?
Oh,
no, a democratic socialist.
Like Hitler?
Well, yeah, like Hitler.
Huh, interesting.
But maybe he's the good, I don't know if they're, okay.
Wait a minute. Did Hitler want to take people's guns?
Yeah, he did actually.
Did Hitler want Common Core education for like everybody?
Well, I didn't call it Common Core, but it was basically the same.
Oh, that's right, Hitler's youth program.
Yeah, the youth program, right?
Yeah.
Okay, look, we're trying to give you the basics so that you can choose. I guess you can see we have leanings here, but look, socialists. Okay.
It doesn't work. Eventually, you run out of other people's money.
Yeah, the downside.
And
of
I'll tell you what,
socialism.
all these millennials that think, oh, well, free college. So you can either pay for college for the 4 years you're there, or you can pay for everybody else's college the rest of your life. Wouldn't that be fabulous? Because you're going to be paying 62% of your income so other people's children can go to college the rest of your life so that you can go for free right now. I think that might not be the best choice.
I think I share your opinion. Okay, let's go to Trump, I believe.
Okay, Trump. Oh, the media sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves Trump. He's fun to watch. His erratic temperament, his fit throwing, while that may be great for TV, is this really the kind of egomaniac we want in the White House?
Well, that ego will drive. He probably will really, honestly advocate for our financial security and well-being of this country, because he's such an egomaniac that I'm sure he wants to say, "Look what I did," and he'll be happy to do everything it takes to make us financially secure. I'm pretty confident he'll do that, but at what price? As we look at let's look at his history here.
Okay, let's look at his history. For one, he is for a single-payer healthcare system, i.e., Obamacare under a different name.
Amen.
This is not what's good for the country. When you allow capitalism to reign, you lower prices, you allow the consumer to make their own choices.
Because the competition balances out. That's the whole point.
Exactly. Anytime the government's in charge of something, it only ends up costing us more and ends up with a crappier system, i.e. Canada. That's why when you have something happen to you healthcare-wise in Canada that's bad, they generally come to America to have it taken care of because they want to stand in long lines and have to prove all this stuff in order to get it taken care of. They would just like to pick their own doctor.
And the lines are painful. I mean,
people have died waiting.
Yeah, oftentimes it's actually a death sentence for those that can't.
Frankly, it's like an expanded VA, like what's happening in America, that Trump, frankly, wants to change because the veterans are not getting the care that they need, which is a great thing about Trump. He really is for our veterans.
And they deserve
really
it.
Loves them.
Yep.
And I applaud him for that. Not everything about Trump is bad, but the single-payer healthcare system and his waffling. He was pro-choice, and now he's pro-life.
Well, people change their positions. Sometimes the problem is the sheer volume of things that he's changed so recently, which concerns me.
If it was a gradual over time, saying, you know what, or if he could say why he changed his mind.
He's got a story on it.
Then I could maybe believe that, because I used to be pro-choice. I will be honest. I used to say, it's my body, it's my choice. But here's the catch: it's not your body; it's somebody else's body.
Okay, let's move on with their agendas.
The other problem the other issue I have with Trump is he won't stand with Israel.
I know.
Israel has been our ally for a lot of years.
And the reason is because these are principled people that live. Matter of fact, have you ever heard of a country that what do they call it? Bump the building? Before, like Hezbollah will shoot a rocket or a bomb over and bomb them, and they go to shoot back at where this bomb came from, and they will bump with a fake bomb the top of the building to give them a warning, so 5 minutes later they'll send a real missile to blow up the place that sent the bomb.
So
who does that?
Yeah, so they're annihilating the bomb instead of the innocent citizens because Palestine puts their missiles launchers. Well, and it is the state of Palestine that does it too. In schools, in hospitals, so that they can say that Israel's attacking schools and hospitals. What kind of maniacs do that?
Amen. Well, we're getting off, but...
Okay, so Trump, he might fix the economy. I would agree that he might, just because he's an egotist and he wants to be able to say he fixed the worst economy in history. But as far as your religious rights, he's not so concerned about those, I'm thinking.
Yeah, well, at least we couldn't find... He says he's this great Christian now, but... Again, this seems to be
pretty recent. His mother had a Bible, apparently.
But, of course, one of the things here is it was hard to find. It's strangely hard to find some of the information
because the media really loves him. But my main concern is that he's got an erratic temper. I mean, you tick him off and he comes unhinged, starts calling names, very unpresidential. I don't think this is who ought to represent our country, and he's not really a constitutionalist.
And not to mention, a lot of these accusations simply are completely false. So, anyways.
As a matter of fact, I saw a meme that I thought was rather hilarious. It had a picture of Ted Cruz that says, "If you love the Constitution," and then it had Rubio underneath that says, "If you like the Constitution," and it had Trump that says, "If you think the Constitution is okay," and then it had Obama that says, "If you hate the Constitution." That's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and now you're going to do
Did you finish up with Trump then?
Yep, we're done with Trump. On to Rubio.
Okay. Rubio. Okay. He's now opposed to amnesty. Although he was part of the Gang of Eight, that was clearly, he was a leading advocate for amnesty. So, I'm confused how he walks away from that and washes his hands when it was not that long ago.
I think it is because it's how he's defining amnesty. He's saying that he would give them a worker release program, worker visa type program.
Right.
I see it as amnesty. He sees it more as a visiting worker program. So I think it's more about how you're defining. I think he's more changed the definition of what he's considering amnesty.
This country has always been extremely receptive to people coming for religious freedoms and to have a better life. But these people are immigrants. They come over, they learn the language, they learn the laws, they learn the history, and they become Americans. When you sneak in and say, I'm going to speak my language, you should all change, those are called invaders. These are not immigrants.
Besides that, it's very unsafe for our country to have that kind of an open border system.
Amen.
Immigration reform doesn't need to change. It needs to be made easier, frankly.
Absolutely.
But giving amnesty is not the answer.
I have to agree. Okay. He's anti-abortion, which is great.
Which is great.
Second Amendment. He's pro-Second Amendment. Fantastic. Says he will reverse the Iran deal, which
2 thumbs up.
Personally, yeah, or more. Adjust the current tax system.
Well, here's why I'm giving you a thumbs down.
Okay.
Abolish would be better, not adjust.
Amen.
Abolish. The IRS is out of control because the IRS is a $26 billion industry that, frankly, needs to be eliminated. It was only put into place as a temporary measure, and then it just never got eliminated.
Like most government programs.
It is time to bring in a flat tax and eliminate.
Amen.
Oh, that was my other thing on Trump.
Oh.
Is his tax plan. It is very poor. It enables all kinds of loopholes, probably even more loopholes than there are now.
Now wait a minute.
It does reduce
tiers.
it does reduce it to 4 brackets instead of 7.
Okay.
But again, you have to have the IRS, and here was the most asinine thing. You have to send in a paper if you're not paying any taxes that says I win. What kind of asinine system is that?
I'm not even sure what that's supposed to mean.
Move on.
Okay, back to Rubio here. Let's see. Border control. He is advocating for 20,000 new border agents and to finish the 700 miles of wall that's not done. And there's several other things too, but in the interest of time, we're trying to hit the high points, okay? So he's for securing our borders.
Supposedly now.
Yeah, again, this is kind of newfound. Pro-free market. He's a career politician. So you decide what that means to you. I don't find that favorable myself.
So if you want the same old, vote Rubio. Well, that's what you get when you get a career politician.
I know. Well, that's how it's been with most, huh?
Yeah. Go along to get along.
Healthcare free market. He says that he supports the free market system.
But I haven't really heard a real plan. Like Cruz has a really in-depth plan about what this is.
Yeah, we'll go into that. Anti-Common Core, which again...
Thumbs up.
Amen. I wish, can you give us a basic on Common Core?
Yes, Common Core is a federally implemented program that says these are the standards we will abide by in our schools, which on the outset sounds really great. We have these great standards, everybody abides by it, but frankly, first off, this is not the role of government, other than state government. They are usurping the state's roles. Second of all, what they're implementing in these Common Core is absolutely insane. They are replacing Christianity with 36 pages on Islam, which I'm not saying don't teach about everything. I'm saying do it equally if you're going to do it at all. Second of all, they leave off everything about our founding fathers. They don't teach about the Constitution. The math system that they have implemented is absolute insanity.
Oh, man.
Try helping your second grader with their math, and you'll see what I mean.
And the health science is insane. Okay, anyways, we would love to spend a lot of time on that.
It's a bad deal, and the power needs to return to the states.
Amen.
Okay.
Now we're to Ted Cruz.
Okay, obviously he's our favorite. And that's for a lot of reasons. First of all, if you want a constitution, somebody that really, really loves the Constitution, you have to go with Ted Cruz. Did you know that he memorized the Constitution at age 13? Outstanding. And if you've ever heard his father talk, you will know that if he does not abide by the Constitution, his father will give him the back of his hand. That is the truth. Okay, first of all, Cruz, a lot of people will have issues with. These are the issues people have with Cruz. He's anti-abortion. And they say that he's anti-abortion to an extreme because he doesn't believe in abortion in the case of any situation. I'm not sure how accurate that is because it was kind of a left-wing site that was touting this, but it is a possibility. He's deeply religious. So
we personally feel in case of incest or rape or the health of the life of the mother, that it really should be a choice of the mother.
I would prefer to see them have the baby because I don't think that it actually helps their mental situation.
I know, even if
but I still think it ought to be their choice.
Again, not to be mandated by the government. That's an extremely personal situation.
The next thing they slam him on is anti-gay rights. They say that he isn't for the LGBT community. He is not pro-gay marriage. Which, frankly, I don't know that the government has any right being involved in marriage. I think it should...
Or any relationship other than...
Yeah. So
there is marriage. There is advantages. There is some justification.
we are marriage as a man and a woman. But if they wanted to have a civil union or whatever, I don't think they should call it marriage. But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
Okay. They say he's got no sympathy for illegal aliens, and how can this be, being that his father was from Cuba? But I believe his father immigrated.
Why haven't he did?
He didn't invade.
Matter of fact,
Interesting.
apparently he had $100 on him when he did it. So he had to like earn his way.
I know.
Okay.
And other people would say, oh, well, he's not really a natural-born citizen. Well, that's asinine. His mother was an American citizen. He is absolutely a natural-born citizen. If I am on vacation in the Caribbean and I have my child, guess what? My child is still an American citizen because I'm an American, regardless of whether I was on vacation or not. She only lived there for like 4 years, and she was working on a visitor visa. He's not a Canadian citizen. He is an American citizen.
That's ludicrous.
I know. Okay. They said that Cruz wants to reform and not end the Patriot Act. And I do have hesitation about this, about whether it should be abolished or whether it should be reformed. I understand his hesitation. We do have to keep the country safe.
Yeah, but tell you what, that's why there are all kinds of ways to do that. And we don't have time to go into it, but you have to remember the principle. People that will, if you want safety over freedom, who was it that said you deserve neither? It doesn't work
I can't remember who it was. But I do see their point on why that is maybe a concern that he wants to reform rather than abolish the Patriot Act.
Yeah, again, because it gives too much power to the Fed.
Yes. The other complaint people had was he wants more troops in the Middle East to squelch ISIS. Now, frankly, I am for this. ISIS is out of control, and frankly, talking softly just really doesn't seem to be working. And I don't think getting them better jobs and is going to help. And I really don't think that the climate change is what's causing them to lop off Christians' heads.
You're so short-sighted that way.
I mean,
I gotta admit though, I don't like our soldiers going overseas. But you know what? The thing is these guys are not being drafted, and as long as we support them, in other words, we send them into harm's way, but we give them every tool and every ability to do their jobs. But this tying their hands behind their back is beyond insane. It is so corrupt.
You mean when they're in Benghazi and they call for help, you don't say, no? Is that what you're talking
And
about?
many others. The airstrikes that are... we could go, again,
Yes.
try not to go into a bunch of stuff, but...
Okay, so anyway, that's one other beef with him, and he doesn't believe in climate change, which frankly, neither do I. We do have climate change. It's called seasons, people. Seasons.
Yeah.
But Cruz is absolutely a constitutionalist. He is pro-Second Amendment. He will fight for our rights. He will stand on the Senate floor and filibuster for something he believes in, whether it makes him unpopular.
Well, he doesn't have any friends. There must be a problem there.
Mike Lee.
Mike Lee rocks.
Mike Lee is his friend.
And Mike Lee, again, is an exceptional example of what government is when they represent the people and the Constitution.
So basically, he's unpopular because he won't go along to get along. He'll stand up for his constituents
minute, isn't that what
and
we're
do what
looking
they
for?
ask him to. It is.
What luck.
Amazing. So in short, we need to wrap this up. We don't want to take any more of your time. Vote Cruz.
Now, wait a minute. We got to hit on his tax plan. That was
His tax
crucial.
plan's amazing. Okay, this is going to take a long time. Flat rate 10%. There you go.
Was it 10?
10%. There you go.
Now, there was...
Abolish the IRS.
Increase the...
Abolish Common Core.
Make our military stable and fund it where it should be.
Oh, and on his first day in office, he will rescind every single illegal executive action that Obama has done, and that includes Obamacare.
You should look up the regulations. The number of regulations since he's been in office is absolutely astonishing. Oh, and quantitative easing. Oh, my heavens. If you've got some time, do a search on quantitative easing. And
We'll
look at
do
the
another
graphs.
one on that later on.
Ugh,
But anyway,
it's
there's
insane.
the long and the short of the candidates. So you choose who's best for you, and be sure to vote because it really is important. Every vote does count.
How many lives have been spent that we have this privilege? Please.
Yes.
Please.
If the Christians had come out and voted last time, we wouldn't have been stuck with Obama for yet another horrific term.
That has put our country in
saying.
an unbelievable position.
So anybody that
Anyways,
didn't vote last time, I hope you're feeling guilty.
there's our 2 cents. Please do with it what you will. Thank you very much.